Here we go. Derek with the Foul Territory cap, Pinstripe Territory host, the big man, also really shining yesterday. Derek, great to have you on because you had been talking about Cody Bellinger before it was cool to talk about Cody Bellinger to the Yankees. So what'd you think about it?
Well, Cody Bellinger has been linked to the Yankees for a couple of years now, and I think it's a good fit. I mean, I'm glad to see that the Yankees have decided to get more athletic. They've recognized that their athleticism, their defense was an issue, and I'm glad to see that they're not getting back into that problematic area where they're too right-handed. You know, a couple of years ago, if Juan Soto had been a Yankee and he had signed with the Mets, the Yankees would have gone out and signed Pete Alonso the next day. But I'm glad to see that they're seeing that lefties are very important at Yankee Stadium finally.
Oh yeah, but I miss those days, don't you? The Red Sox signed Manny, the Yankees go get A-Rod. You know, it was like it was back and forth. It
Dude,
was battles.
Pete and Pinstripes would be epic. So
Oh,
what do you want? What do you want next?
So there's been a lot of talk about what the Yankees need. Obviously, first base is still an issue, and they probably need one infielder, either a third baseman or a second baseman. I'm not in love with any of the available first base free agents. I think Pete Alonso is too much of a power guy, not enough of a baseball generalist in terms of base running and in terms of defense. And Christian Walker, 34 years old, excellent player. I spoke to Robert Murray on my show, and he was telling me how underrated he is. But 34 years old, and we just watched DJ LeMahieu fall off a cliff around that age. So my guy is Nathaniel Lowe. There was a article by Matthew Postins, I believe, who covers the Rangers for SI, and he was suggesting that there's a lot of reasons that the Rangers could deal Nathaniel Lowe, and if that happens, I think he'd be a great fit for the Yankees. A solid contact guy, good defender. He's got a little bit of pop. He hit 300 a couple of years ago, but he's not a guy who sacrifices his swing for power. He can use the whole field. If he's available, I think you got to move some pieces to get him. There's been also some talk about Alex Bregman for third base. I'm not sure that I'm in love with that move. Brian Hoke, who covers the Yankees for MLB.com, their beat writer, put out a tweet that basically said there's mutual interest and the interest is real. I don't know how Aaron Judge or Cody Bellinger would feel about having him in the clubhouse, having played against that 2017 Astros team. But upgrading at third base allows you to fill second base with Jazz Chisholm, where he's naturally better as a defender. And then you probably give Ben Rice a shot at first base, right? Let his left-handed swing develop in Yankee Stadium. So, as Brian Cashman says, there's a lot of ways to skin the cat. I was chatting with Cameron Maben on X, and he was basically saying about the Bregman thing that, he played for that Astros team too, and Cashman still brought him in. So, maybe it can happen. We'll see.
who's untouchable? Because now the Yankees are talking, trades. Oh wow, we're gonna trade to go upgrade here. Because you had Caleb Durbin starting. I'm a big Pinstripe Territory fan. You had him starting on one of your episodes. You talked about him starting at second base in the big leagues for the team. Well, he gone. So
Yeah.
who's untouchable right now in the org that you would be disappointed if they got rid of?
Well, to clarify, Brian Cashman had come out and said that Caleb Durbin was the leading candidate to take over at second base. I was always a little skeptical because his exit velocity in the minors is like 83 miles an hour. He's 5'6". I mean, how many Altuves are there out there, right? And I wasn't buying it that much, but I was anxious to see how he would look in spring training. He obviously had a good Arizona Fall League. To me, the main guy who's untouchable is Jason Dominguez. The Martian, I've been a big fan of his for a while, following through the minor leagues. When he came up a couple of years ago, he set the world on fire for about 7 games, and then he tore his UCL, had to have surgery. He missed the first part of last year, and then he was like a rocket, just coming back through the minor leagues on his rehab assignment. He played great in AAA. He had great numbers. He hit over 300. The power was there. He stole a ton of bases. Then he came up to the major leagues and couldn't catch a fly ball. And I think that affected his whole game. He made a couple of errors early. I don't know if it was the triple deck syndrome, coming from the minor leagues and not being used to, the wind whirling around the dome in Safeco and Oakland, where he had some mistakes. And then Yankee Stadium, he gets put in left field. He's a natural center fielder. So it kind of fell apart for him. And so people are down on him, but I still think a switch hitter in today's game who has power from both sides and who's a patient hitter with speed, I think you got to keep him. And right now he's penciled in to be a cheap corner outfielder. They're probably going to play Bellinger in center, although There was just a report, I believe it was from Brian Hoke, who said that it's fake news that Belly was told he's going to play center field for sure. So Belly's still an option at first base. That would allow Dominguez to be in center, and then maybe you go get a left fielder like Santander or something along those lines. But to me, the one untouchable guy, to answer your question, Kratzy, is Jason Dominguez.
Okay, so Derek, would you rather have Juan Soto or Max Fried and Cody Bellinger? Take Devin Williams out of the combo. They could have gotten him either way. I don't care what happens 15 years from now. I don't care what happens 10 years from now.
You can't take him out of the conversation.
This is my question. I don't care what happens 8 years from now. Next season, would you rather have had Fried and Bellinger or Juan Soto?
Fried and Bellinger or Juan Soto. That's tough. So, I was one of the few Yankees fans who was not heartbroken when Juan Soto signed with the Mets, especially when I saw the final number of $765 million. The tandem of Judge and Soto was amazing to watch. They combined for 99 home runs. Soto walking in front of Judge, and then Judge hitting a 2-run home run in the first inning. It happened about 15 times last year, and it was amazing, and it just got the game started off great, and you just love to see the battles early on. Soto was clutch. He was probably the most clutch hitter on the team other than Stanton in the postseason. He hit the big home run to put the Yankees in the World Series. But I knew, and every Yankees fan who's honest with themselves knew that he was going to be difficult to re-sign, and that the price was going to be such that if you did re-sign him, it was going to basically leave the Yankees with some of the holes and the deficiencies that we saw cost them the World Series. So what you're really asking me is, would I like the entertainment of Soto and Judge back-to-back, historic, or would I rather the Yankees have a better shot to win the World Series? And if I'm being honest as a fan, as much as I love Juan Soto, I'd rather see the Yankees have a more complete team. I'm a kid of the 90s. I loved watching the team that would battle and scrape by and play that quote-unquote National League style game. That doesn't really exist as much anymore. But I really loved watching those teams that were more complete. I missed the Scotty Bros and the Tino Martinez's. Not everybody needs to be a 40 home run guy, but everybody has to be able to play baseball at a high level and run the bases and make the defensive plays and stay focused for a full game. I'm glad that we're separating the wheat from the chaff a little bit and getting really solid baseball players back in the mix again.
Okay. Interesting. We'll see how the offense looks. Still more work to do.
The offense will be fine.
Okay.
Because there's more work to be done. And by the way, Kratz, back me up here. You can't just say and he was going to get Devin Williams either way. You don't know that. You don't know that. So you can't just make up trades.
He's just manipulating the answers.
Yeah.
No, they would have gotten him either.
You're asking, how do you know that? You don't know that.
They would have. Just my opinion.
Money's a wash. Money's a wash.
Yeah. Yeah. Devin Williams doesn't cost much. So that's not part of the equation.
Yeah, but if they had $50 million extra on the books already, maybe
it would have cost twice as much. If they were over the CBT threshold.
Last I checked,
another good point. Thank you, Kratz. That's why we have you.
Pretty damn rich.
The way I look at it is you're replacing Nestor Cortez with Max Fried. You're replacing Clay Holmes with Devin Williams. So already the pitching staff is better. Now you can't replace Juan Soto, but maybe, to borrow the phrase from Moneyball, you can rebuild him. So that's what I'm hopeful for.
There you go. All right. Well, this is the Martian's #1 fan too. So I'm excited I'm a big fan too.
I got a card. I got an autograph. Jason to me. I'll sell it to you. Just DM me, Derek. Just DM me.
Or you could text him because
I'm not sure I could give you my whole bank account and it wouldn't make a difference in your life, AJ. I'm pretty sure.
How much I paid for those damn cards.
Hey, Derek, thanks for joining us, dude. Everyone check out Pinstripe Territory. Wherever you get your pods, the YouTube channel is fire. And during the regular season, if you've never been a part of the show and you're a big Yanks fan, after every single game, Derek's there for you. Thanks, Derek.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.